What's up, backpackers? George here. I'm coming to you today with a very special video. I'm going to show you what I carry with me while I'm backpacking, and I'm also going to show you how I pack my pack. I've got a lot of questions about how I do that, so today I'm going to show you. I'll also mention that this is not a perfect gear list. There's no such thing. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs and goals and budgets for backpacking. This just happens to be what I carry, not necessarily what I think you should carry. For example, I no longer carry hiking poles, but I recommend that you do. Hiking poles are great for reducing the amount of strain that you put on your muscles and joints, especially when going up and downhill. The reason I don't carry poles anymore is because I'm making these videos and I'm always messing with my phone or my little tripod. So I just find that poles are just something extra for me to be like fiddling with, and so I've stopped carrying them. I made a gear list video about a year ago, and so some things have changed since then. I'm also no longer carrying a solar charger. For one thing, I just started doing some math, and you figure carrying a couple extra battery banks is less weight than carrying the full solar charger, so no longer carrying that. So before I show you all the individual gear, I guess I'll talk about what I wear when I'm backpacking. I like to have a hat, protection from the sun. Also have some prescription sunglasses. It's nice to have a buff, more protection from the sun, and during these days of COVID, somebody else is coming down the trail, and there's not like enough room to step off the trail. You got something quick to pull up. I like to wear, typically like to wear long sleeves and pants. Both my shirt pants got to be breathable, and the long sleeves and the pants can help protect from the sun, so you don't have to carry as much sunscreen. Plus, it can help protect from bugs at night. All my clothes are either a wool or a synthetic. You don't want to wear cotton, anything, because cotton gets wet and then it won't keep you warm, and it doesn't dry very quickly. So cotton's just not what you want to have out in the wilderness. In addition to the socks that I'm wearing, I bring 2 extra pairs of socks. One pair of socks is for changing out while hiking, and then I try to keep a third pair of socks, kind of like in reserve, that I don't wear while hiking, or at least that's the idea. And I try to always, so that way there's always a clean, warm pair of socks to change into at night before I get into my sleeping bag. As far as shoes go, I like these Ultra Lone Peaks. They got a wide toe box, so help the foot spread out, and they got good traction. I like trail running shoes much more than hiking boots. I definitely don't recommend hiking boots unless you got like really weak ankles and you're always like rolling your ankles. Trail running shoes are going to be much lighter, much more comfortable, which is going to result in less blisters, much more breathable, which means less blisters. I meant to say the trail running shoes are much more breathable than the boots. I find that if I wear boots, I'm just much more prone to blisters. And also, if you get a pair of waterproof hiking boots wet, they just take forever to dry. if you get trail running shoes wet, you just keep walking and they dry out on their own pretty much. Yeah. So, all right, now I'll show you what I got for gear. And these three items are the big three. Got your pack, your tent, and your sleeping bag. Typically, these are going to be your three heaviest items, and are often the three most expensive items as well. So if you're looking to upgrade your gear, I would be looking at these items if you want to shave the most weight off your base weight. Now that I've mentioned base weight, I might as well mention what that is. Your base weight is everything that you carry, including your pack, but not your food or your water, because those are like flexible weights that change throughout your trip. But your base weight is basically what your pack weighs when you're rolling into the trailhead at the end of your trip and you've eaten all your food, you've drank all your water. So if you're looking to improve your base weight, look to get a good lightweight pack, tent, and sleeping bag. I can use the Z-Packs Arc Haul as my pack. It's a big pack. It can carry a week's worth of gear. And then for my tent, which is in that dry bag right there, is the Nemo Hornet Elite. So in that dry bag, I've got the Rainfly, I've got the stakes, the tent. I've also got a footprint to protect the bottom of the tent. And I've got my poles. And then this sleeping bag right here is a Z-Packs sleeping bag. I believe when I bought it, it was rated at 10 degrees. But it's not a 10-degree bag. It's more like a 30-degree bag, and you have to wear a beanie or some sort of winter hat because it doesn't go all the way over your head. It doesn't have a hood. But super lightweight, very packable, very happy with it. But yeah, not a 10-degree bag, probably a 30-degree bag. So I'm getting ready for a backpacking trip in Canyonlands National Park. Here's a look at all the gear I'll be bringing. First thing I do when I'm getting ready to pack, and I do this also when I'm in camp each morning and I'm getting ready to pack up, is I organize my gear into three piles. Pile over here on the left is going to be stuff that I'm definitely not going to need while I'm on the move. I'm not going to need it until I get to camp. So this is the stuff that I stick down in the bottom of my pack. Second pile is going to be stuff that I might need while I'm on the move, but maybe not. So this stuff is going to be basically in the middle of my pack. And then the final pile is going to be stuff that I might need while I'm on the move, but maybe not. Maybe it's just something that I like to have close at hand on the outside of my pack. So yeah, convenience is a big factor in where stuff goes into my pack. The other factor being weight. It's better to keep heavy items close to your back and closer to the bottom of your pack, and keep lighter weight items towards the outside, away from your back, and closer to the top as well. So weight and convenience. One thing to remember when you're packing stuff up, try to roll things. Rolling items like clothing is better than wadding it up and stuffing. And you're going to have to use some Tetris moves. I hope you all did Tetris when you were a kid. Otherwise, you'll just have no clue how to fit all this stuff together. But all right, I'll go ahead and go through each item individually as I'm packing it up. Now to show you all how I pack my pack. And the very first thing I do is I want to get maximum volume out of my pack. So I loosen up all these straps. All right. The first two items that I place in the pack are this torso-size foam sleeping pad, and my tent poles. The reason those go in first is because they're both very tall items, long items, and so I want to make sure that they can fit all the way down into the bottom, so that way they've got enough room in here. Next thing I'm going to add is going to be this dry bag with the tent inside. So all the way down at the bottom, flat against the bottom. Next item is going to be my food. I've got my food in an op sack, which is an odor-proof bag. So we're going to put this all the way down at the bottom. And this is most of my food, but it's not all my food. I'm going to have some food on hand in my hip belt pocket for snacks later. And also I'm going to keep my what I'm going to have for lunch in a more convenient spot. This is an earth sack. That odor-proof bag with all the food can go inside this thing. And this is basically a Kevlar bag that can prevent bears from being able to get to your food, or squirrels or rats or whatever. So this earth sack and the op sack, I think, are definite necessities. Next thing that's going to go in, let's put these zero shoe sandals. They're very lightweight, and yeah, great for wearing around camp, taking off the shoes, the hiking or running shoes at the end of the day, and putting on some sandals is great. I don't always carry them because they add like 14 ounces to my weight, but on this next trip I plan on carrying them. Also show you this long-handled spoon. I should have put this in the food bag, but yeah, this thing is great. It's great for scooping all the way down into the bottom of freeze-dried meals. So yeah, gotta have it. Next thing, this big metal cup. This is what I boil water in. Because it's such an open, there's all this space in here, so you want to take advantage of that. So I stick my fuel canister in there, and I've got this collapsible cup that I use for drinking coffee or tea. And this will also go in there and keep that fuel can from rattling around. So that goes in. This is my my little stove top. I screw this into the fuel canister, and then I set my metal cup of boiling water on top of that. So that's what that is. This Ziploc bag right here is filled with a couple battery banks. I've got some AAA batteries for my headlamp and an extra set of batteries in case the first set run out. Also got a cord in there for charging my phone and for my Garmin Mini InReach, which I'll show you later and talk all about. But yep, so this bag heads in towards the bottom. I've got this emergency bivvy in case my sleeping bag or my tent were to get destroyed or wet in a rainstorm, and I absolutely needed it. This is a great thing to have in an emergency and doesn't weigh very much. I've got my sleeping air pad in here. If you remember, one of the first things I put in here was the foam sleeping pad. Both of these pads are torso pads, and I basically sleep with a foam pad underneath my legs and this air pad underneath my upper body. This air pad has lasted me a really long time. I bought it through Gossamer Gear. It was designed by Clement, and I've used this thing hundreds of nights. It's awesome. Best air pad ever, right here. I'm not sure if they make them anymore, so hopefully I don't pop it. Also got a bag here full of, I got my toothpaste and a little travel size toothbrush. And I've also got some of my medicines. I'm a diabetic, so I've got insulin pens and pen needles in here. Stick those down in there. I've also got my headlamp. I don't, when I have this packed in my pack, I don't have any batteries in it, because otherwise the button's going to get pressed and it's going to get turned on and waste the battery. So keep my headlamp without batteries in it. Batteries are someplace safe where they don't get wet. And then I've got a thin pair of thermal underwear. I like wearing these inside the sleeping bag at night, so that way I don't get my sleeping bag oily or dirty. So that way I never have to wash my sleeping bag, because if you ever wash your sleeping bag, I feel like it never regains its loft that it once had, even if you use the special down detergent. So anyway, I like having some thin thermal underwear for sleeping in. And if I know that it's going to be a rainy day, I'll stick that thin pair of long underwear inside the same dry bag that I have my sleeping bag in, just to make sure that stuff stays warm and dry. All right, now moving on to the next pile of gear. All this next stuff is stuff that I may or may not need while I'm backpacking. So it's stuff that's good to have like right in the middle of the pack. First thing I'm going to put in there is something that I'm definitely going to need. When I start out this next backpacking trip, I'm going to need to start out with 3 liters of water. So I've got one in my one water bottle. So I've got about 2 liters of water in this water bladder. And I'm going to keep this, I'm going to put this flat right in this next level. Yeah, water is really heavy, so like according to like weight, I should have this lower in the pack or flat up against my back. But in reality, I don't want to have to like unpack all my stuff, 5 miles into my hike when I need to refill my water bottle. So I'm going to put it in a slightly more convenient spot, right in the middle of the pack. And then, yeah, more stuff that I may or may not need. I might need this paracord when there's some steep spots where I may need to lower my pack and then climb down without a pack. So it's good to have a piece of paracord for that. I mentioned having 2 extra pairs of socks earlier, so here they are. Let's see. Next, I'll show you rain gear. I don't know if it's going to rain during my trip, but even in the desert, it rains sometimes. So you got to have the gear. I'm not going to have this stuff at the very top of my pack, but right in the middle of the pack seems like a good spot. Got a pack cover here. I've got a rain jacket. Notice how I've rolled it up nice and tight. Trying to Tetris this stuff in there around that water bladder and all my other gear, so you don't want any like open like spots of of wasted volume. Oh yeah, I guess I'll talk about this before I put it in there. This is a rain kilt, much more breathable than rain pants and way much less as well. So yeah, so I like this nice little rain kilt that I got from Z-Packs. A lot of my gear is from Z-Packs. Yeah, what can I say? They make great gear. I've got a glasses case, keep my sunglasses in here. I've got, I guess you could call this my first aid kit / hygiene kit. I've got some toilet paper, some biodegradable wipes. I love using these wipes at night, like to clean my feet, or to kind of give myself like a little bath before getting in the sleeping bag. Also got some Band-Aids in there, some moleskin, some tweezers. I've got a lighter. Let's see, lunch. I like to keep lunch close to the top of the pack. This next trip, I guess day 1 lunch is going to be some trail mix and some salmon jerky. All right. I usually start out the mornings hiking in my in this puffy jacket and this beanie. So I'll start out hiking in until I get too hot, and then it goes in the pack. Just roll it up nice and tight. Tetris that thing in there. Same with the beanie. Roll it up, shove it down the side. Cool. This last item that I'm putting in from this pile is the sleeping bag. I've stuffed my sleeping bag inside this dry bag. It's also a compression sack so that I make it nice and small and packable. According to the piles of convenience, this should have gone into the pile where of stuff that I definitely won't need until I get to camp. But I like to pack this last into the pack because it is so lightweight. It's such a low density item that I like to have this at the very top. My pack has this this roll top that's really convenient. So that way you can stuff a lot of stuff in here, but if you don't fill the pack all the way up, you just roll this down nice and tight. And you can clip these together. Yeah, so now I got everything in my pack, and now I'll move on to the last pile. Now to show y'all what goes into my hip belt pockets and to my mesh pocket. I've always got some snacks handy. These noon tablets have got electrolytes and caffeine. Over in my other hip belt pocket, I'll keep my Aquamira drops. These are what I use to treat water. Compass, multi-tool, and then I've also got this little level, so that way my videos aren't all crooked. And then into my mesh pocket, I'll put my mat back here, some sunscreen. Usually I have a handkerchief that can be used for wiping up food or if I have to blow my nose. Also got this water bottle. I also have this Garmin Mini InReach, which I'll clip on to this little carabiner right here. This thing is great. This is one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's basically like a satellite texting and navigation system. I have it paired with an app on my phone, and I'm easily able to pull up a map where I can see myself on the map and know exactly where I am and which direction I'm facing, and it even works offline. I'm also able to send text messages to friends or family, let them know I'm doing okay and that just checking in with them. So yeah, this thing has been awesome. I definitely recommend it. And if you're gonna get one of these small ones, I recommend getting the app on your phone, because this thing is like super difficult to text with. But yeah, great thing to have. And if an emergency were to come up, it's got this SOS button. You press the SOS button and it automatically connects you to your closest search and rescue team. I have to pay a subscription for the service with Garmin, but it's well worth it. The peace of mind that comes with being able to know exactly where you are and being able to communicate with people in case you run into trouble. So yeah, love this Garmin Mini InReach. A couple of items I wanted to mention that I'm not bringing on this trip, but that I often bring with me, especially in the mountains. Bear spray, bug spray, 100% DEET. And also I got this bug head net. Yeah, so I won't need those items on my next trip because I'm going to be in the desert. It's April and there aren't any bears in this particular area, but these are some items that I'll be carrying with me later on this season. Don't forget to tighten those straps. You don't want all your gear moving around on you in the middle of your hike. A few things worth mentioning that you don't want to bring, and I've mentioned some of these already. Don't bring hiking boots. Don't bring cotton clothes. Don't bring extra clothes. You don't need to bring an extra shirt. You don't need to bring extra pair of pants. The only extra clothes that you need to bring are socks. Bring 2 extra pairs of socks. Don't wear deodorant because it'll just attract bugs. And you don't need to bring a pillow. if you want to make a pillow, just roll up your jacket nice and tight with the zippers on the inside. Make it nice and smooth. And then take your shirt and wrap your shirt around your jacket. Make it nice and smooth. And then you can wrap it all up and tie it up with a little piece of paracord. That's all you need for a pillow. Just some of your clothes that you're not wearing at that moment, and they'll make a great pillow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Found it informative. If you have any questions about my gear, what sort of gear you should bring, feel free to ask me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out on the trail. I hope you all enjoyed my tree wallpaper back there. Made you feel like you were out in the wilderness. And yeah, I'll catch you all later and see you on the trail.